So this is one of the most expensive magnifiers out there. I want to get y'all's opinion on one of the most expensive magnifiers you can get, especially when you compare it to some of the other stuff that's out there. HoloSun's got.
So I want to know your guys' opinion before we get to that. I want to know your guys' opinion on magnifiers in general. Like, what is the? I have a magnifier on my gun. Gonna be honest, like when I was getting into it, I was like, magnifiers are just super cool, and I remember them from COD, and I remember flipping up and having like a
having a cool animation.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, that's super cool. They look like super tactical. But what are your guys' opinion? I do have my own thoughts on it, other than just that. But what are your guys'
What are
opinions?
your thoughts?
Well, so the most practical way that I've ever used them is during hunting. So I actually took my gun out hunting, and there's the way that our hunting ground is laid out is there's like the deer stand, and then there's a large opening in the forest that's about 100 yards. And so I did a what do you call it? I measured it, and it's like, okay, from this tree line to that tree line is 100 yards. So I can get that with like 300 blackout, with about 7.5 inch 300 blackout. That's doable with a red dot. So I took it hunting. And I had the magnifier on it. I didn't think I would use it, but then I saw something in the woods over there, and it was a doe. I only had a buck tag, so I couldn't get it. But I flipped the magnifier up, and I could identify it very quickly. Even though like with just the normal red dot, I couldn't see it very well. So then I flipped the magnifier up, and I could see it. And I was like, oh wow, there it is, And I did that, and we saw like 3 or 4 does.
Oh wow, there it is.
Yeah, and so we saw 3 or 4 does that day. And every time it was way in the distance, and I could kind of zoom it and get a quick, 3x magnification on it. That was with, not this one, that was with our Delta magnifier. And I was actually kind of blown away by how useful that was. Even though I had not really anticipated using it that much, I was like, I used it almost every time throughout the day. So that's kind of my opinion, is that they do have some use case. But what are your guys'? I don't think I've ever seen either of you running magnifiers on any of your guns. So
I have them.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have them too. I think it's they're good if you want to expand the capability of your red dot and you really want to stick to a red dot and you don't want to put something like an LPV or a prism or any other kind of optic on there. You can just slap one of these on. These are also usually lighter than some of the other stuff. So, but I mean, guys can go way overboard with these. Start throwing $400 Unity mounts on their $300 magnifiers and having it go up and down, and then you start going into the whole riser conversation. And I think people can go a little overboard with them.
Do you flip out or do you flip down?
Right. People can go a little overboard. For me, I like them, but if I'm doing a gun where I know I need a magnified optic, I'm usually just going to either go with a nice prism optic that's already magnified, or go with the LPVO.
You know what I love magnifiers for?
What's that?
Zeroing red dots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They are the best thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because now, like, especially with like 22 or 223, like you can actually see the hole at 50 now pretty easily, where naked eye 1x, it's like, I can't.
You gotta walk down there.
Yep. Or you need something else, something with magnification to tell. So practical applications of red dots, magnifiers. Don't plan on running a rear backup sight on it, because this
Unless
usually
it's offset.
Yes, you can do 45 offsets on them.
Or when you flip out, you could do backup iron sights as well.
Correct.
If it's a flip out iron.
So this one's a flip down or flip up, so
Right.
it stays in.
But like our Delta, I have backup iron sights on that. I could flip out.
Correct.
And run those. Yeah.
Now, if you're doing like our Delta, where it's a flip out to the side or flip to side, don't plan on running an offset red dot. Now, you shouldn't need to, because you have a 1x red dot on top.
Right.
So the other thing I noticed too, when they're out to the side, is they get into your field of view. Your field of view from your eyes going out like this. You got your red dot here. Now you got another hunk of something here, and you can't see anything this way.
Yeah.
So they take away some of your field of view, your peripheral vision. Now you get into the, hey, I got 3-4 guns with red dots on them. This can go on every gun within a couple seconds. You don't need to zero it. There's pretty much no alignment you need to do with them.
Because it just has like a quick attach.
Yep,
You just
it's just a
throw it on,
QD
whatever.
mount. You throw it on. You don't need to zero them. They don't even need to line up perfectly with the height of your optic. There's actually a little grace there. for how far off they can be.
Like often what I'll do is I'll take the red dot off of my gun when it's like on my nightstand or something
magnifier?
like that. The magnifier.
Yeah.
I'll take the magnifier off of my gun if it's like on my nightstand or something like that, because like you don't really need a magnifier inside your house or whatever. And then if I'm going out, it might live in my range bag, or it might be
for the
buy some of my
price,
other kit or whatever.
For the price of a magnifier, flip up or flip to side, like the expanded capabilities that you give that gun with a 1x red dot on it is so much greater. I've done competition matches where it's nice just to be able to flip that in, just get out a little farther.
Guess the suggested MSRP on this.
$579.
Is it like $439?
$709.
Are you serious?
Jeez.
Oh,
Is
my goodness.
EOTECH suggested MSRP.
Now,
Does it cost $709? I don't think so. I think they're probably right around $550 is what you can find them when you're looking. But this is $709, which you could put like 5 optics on every gun. You could put 2 optics on 3 guns and not hit $709 if you stay on the cheap end. So is the G40.
What's the Temu price?
The Temu price. Oh no, let me scan our barcode real quick. Because that case apparently came from Temu. Are we allowed to say Temu on YouTube?
I don't know. Who knows?
But yeah, so I don't know. I think that they're great to have in the drawer.
Yeah.
I would not, if I was to put one on a gun and leave it there, it would really need to have an application where I'm going to be shooting 10 yards to about 200 yards.
But I think the point of magnifiers, especially flip magnifiers, is you don't know when you're going to need that extra distance, or when you're not going to need that extra distance.
And so that's why I
right?
say it's nice to put them in the drawer, because you can literally put it on in under 30 seconds.
So this magnifier being sold by itself with no mount, this one comes with a mount.
It's $509.
With no mount is about $509. But then you're going to have to go buy your own mounting system for this,
Another
which is
$200 problem.
another
$150.
$200 to $400 problem.
And the
depending on
mount
where you go.
actually is one of the biggest things to consider when you're looking at magnifiers, because a loose mount rattles. And you
obnoxiously.
And you want something that's actually very positive locking.
Yeah.
Honestly, with our Delta, like the mount costs just as much as the magnifier does.
Yeah. Like
What a lot of people don't realize is when these manufacturers are selling to the U.S. federal government, it pays to make the mounts have moving pieces that erode and break over time. Because then guess what happens?
They got to buy another.
The U.S. federal government has to buy another one. So they have a subscription to mounts. Like with night vision, a lot of people think, oh, well, I'll just buy the Wilcox night vision mount because it's made by Wilcox and it's the best one there is. Well, turns out that's not a serialized piece of equipment, and they're kind of designed to fail and break over time, so that the U.S. federal government has to spend another $350 this year and get a new Wilcox.
So you
mount
mean
for the
these
soldier.
these companies operate like tech companies,
A little bit.
or tech startups where they sell an invention, and then that's not the way they make the money. They make the money off the subscription to
is-
the invention, like Ring doorbells or other things like that.
It is a little,
Adobe.
Yeah.
it is a little bit like that. Yeah. So I don't
Fascinating.
want to say that EOTECH has that problem. I've never experienced a failure on the mount on an EOTECH, but I know the old it used to have like a push button on it that made it just push to the side like automatically. I have heard of those getting wobbly and loose over time, but I think you're talking about years, not months or something like that. Whereas some of the less expensive ones like ours and Hollow Sun's magnifier, and I think Vortex has also a solid budget-friendly magnifier. Those are all forced to overcome, so you have to physically push it, and those tend to last longer, and they're easier to fix because there's usually a tension screw.
And it's super simple. It's using a cam system, just so like once it goes over the cam, then it's out. You have to come back over the cam to come in.
My whole thing is, if you're, and maybe I'm thinking of it all wrong, because with EOTECH you're paying for, and with these other mounting systems, you're paying for durability and all this other stuff, military, the military name,
Battle tested.
yeah, kind of the reputation, all that. But it's like
Versus China.
But I'm saying is
China.
that let's say you have this and the EOTECH, the actual optic, the actual holographic optic, that's about $1,000 ish right there, plus a mount. That's about
600.
$600.
It depends which one you're looking at.
With this and the
With that,
yeah, the
too?
combo, yeah,
The combo I think is like 13.
yeah, plus another however much for the mount. And then it's like, at that point, you could get, if you're trying to hit distance, you know, if you're trying to say, okay, I want something far out,
LPVO.
like, why not spend that same amount of money on a pretty nice optic, like some Vortex or something else?
This is the thought process. This is why I don't own an EOTech, because every time I start looking at the EOTech Magnifier and holographic sight combination, you're at like $1,300. Best price you can find is like $1,200.
You're at the price of an ACOG.
Yeah, and then I'm at the cost of an ACOG, which I've got 15 years behind. And for an extra $200, I can get one that has an RMR on the top. So, like, this is my opinion. Like, this is just like my opinion, dude. But I'm gonna choose the Trijicon ACOG every time over an EOTech if I'm spending that kind of money.
Because then you have a dedicated solution to.
And this is also the miniature magnifier as
Right.
well. They have one that is, I think, the exact same size as this, and this is almost the exact same as.
Because is this 3X still?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
the
they're
3X
mostly all
magnifier?
gonna
Is
be
that other
3X.
one, is the bigger one 3X or is that 4? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I think they have a 4X one. I'm not sure, but
Because then you're really at the ACOG, like in terms of
except
comparison.
it's worse class.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and also you're dealing with like a holographic thing instead of prism.
The other thing too, like I keep going back to I can put this on 5 different guns.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
you can get 5 of those for the cost of that.
Yeah.
You can get
4.5.
3, 2.
Sure.
Depending on the week.
But yeah, depending on the week. But essentially, it's like, okay, it's the buy once, cry once. I got this. Now I can go put it on any gun with a red dot where I might want some magnification. Maybe I'm going to go sight in. And this is the difference of bringing like a spotting scope or binos with you to the range, or having to walk 50, 100 yards to just go check your target. And then by the time you get back, you forget what you had to do.
Right.
So
I think what I would do, if it were me, I think I would. I do love the EOTech, the actual holographic EOTech optic. I mean, you know, those things are just sweet. I would probably, if it were me, I'd probably get the EOTech, and then I would get like this magnifier and use that magnifier on it, because
the mount, or the EOTech red dot with our Delta
with our
magnifier?
Delta, because or some other kind of, you know, just cheaper or less expensive magnifier, because the amount of times I'm using this is so rare. Like I said, you know, for me, the most practical application is like a hunting application, I suppose. But even then, there are better solutions, LPVO, whatever. But then I'm using it in such a low use rate, or it's such a low use case, that I would much rather spend all the money on the optic itself and then have like a quick detach thing like this, throw it on and off, and not spend the money on the EOTech magnifier. Even though like the brands would match, maybe I'd I'd spray paint a little EOTech logo on
This
there.
does have. I would say this does have better glass.
Yes, much better.
Okay.
I don't know if it is 3 times.
I mean,
as
edge
good,
to edge
but
clarity is about the same.
This is just that one has just a little bit more fog, but that one's also been in.
This one's been used a lot.
that one's been in a warehouse for
And
like
honestly,
4 years.
Probably just dusty.
let's just clean this lens off that has.
Yeah, that's been sitting in a bin in our studio spare.
Or on a
parts.
gun, or in the safe, or in the whatever. Yeah. So it's probably just.
Much better.
Oh, now they're the same.
Oh, the glass is just as good.
yeah. Oh, now they're the same.
The real question is, if we took these out and we beat them with hammers, which one's going to go down first? And my money's on that one.
The
would
other
probably
thing
go
I'd
down
want to
first.
look at too is the eye relief box on them. Which one's more forgiving?
They do this
that's so
for.
much better.
They have camera lens testers that you do these tests on, that you like take actual, and it's really strange. It's like grid with like a bunch of squares and a bunch of things, and so they do that so you can actually see the difference when you take a picture. You can see the difference and your camera's the same and all the settings are the same. All you're doing is swapping out the lens. And so then you kind of see the edge distortions, or the clarity and the chromatic aberration.
That
of things.
wall right there with all the vertical lines on
Yeah.
it's great for that.
Yeah, it
hate,
looks something
I
like
hate
that.
talking with people on that. You guys can't see it, but we have a set with like these soundproof panels.
You see them in every coffee shop.
Right. If you're looking at someone sitting in front of that, it messes with your eyeballs. I don't know if I'm the only one that has that happen.
No,
but
it does. It's
Is
like
that
very
the
strange.
Mior effect?
Yeah. It looks like it's kind of moving, or there's like a strange grid effect. Anyway, so we could maybe do something like that with these,
I think it's a good idea, actually.
and actually see, what the difference would be. Now, the hard part about that is that it would be, if we were to try to do it on camera, it would be a camera lens looking into this, not this affixed to an actual camera sensor, which is kind of the downside of that.
Well, the biggest thing I can notice through the glass is actually like edge to edge is about the same. It's the vibrance and light coming through it. The EOTECH is a bit brighter. We got a fake plant over there. The green is more vibrant through it. So yeah, look through that one and then do the EOTECH right after. And now, is that going to make the difference between you hitting your target or not?
Indeed.
Probably not. But is it going to possibly allow you to spot something quicker?
I think so.
With brighter glass. I know in the long range class I've taken, and just some experience there, is if it's in the shadows, you better have good glass for it. Because the worst glass, you just aren't going to be able to see it. You aren't going to be able to make it out because your glass is you're looking at a dark object and you're zoomed in. And so just every amount of light that you can get matters. And so that's where the EOTECH's nice. Like if I was to go like build like a legit battle rifle, I would be going in. I need a magnifier. I'd be going with this one almost every time. Over
So
pretty
it's a
much
smash for you?
Yeah,
on the EOTECH?
over pretty much anything else on the market. This would be the one that I'm going with. It's got a great track record to it. It's actually the same mount system that we use, so you can go get almost any magnifier mount that you want for it, whether you want flip to side or flip up, flip down.
If you want Unity's name on there.
Yep, there's pros and cons to each. So like the flip up, flip down, don't plan on running a backup sight on the pick rail itself vertically. Where ours the flip out, so you can do that. The one thing you run into is just physical space on the pick rail. But like a set of M-bus rears does fit under this when it's in the shooting position or ready position for it.
Yeah.
So I would smash on it. It's not cheap, but at the same time, good stuff usually isn't cheap.
Well, since it's not cheap, you can smash on it, allegedly.
Yes. The other thing too is it's kind of the buy once, cry once. This isn't like you need to go buy one for every single gun. This is kind of like you need it. If you put this in like your range bag and you brought 3 different guns with you, you can put it on 3 different guns. Just put it in your pocket. This should be in your everyday carry. You know, is that a magnifier in your pocket,
Use
CJ?
it with your-
Or you just
Use it with your kinshot buffer.
growing. Yes, right in your pocket.
Exactly.
Okay,
Is this
CJ.
smash or pass for you?
For me, just speaking from my own experience, it's a pass because if I'm spending that much money on the optic, I'm gonna go with what I like, and that's the ACOG.
Yeah.
Call me a fanboy, call me a shill. I don't care.
But then
I
you
like
don't get the
ACOG.
1X side of it.
Right. Well, that's what the RMR that comes on the top of the ACOG when
But
you're
now
spending that.
you're
much.
way over the price
No,
of
it's
the combo.
Like, it's like $1,500.
But you're over the price of the combo.
So it's like 200. That's
It's like an
$200
extra
more.
$110 to get what I like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. You know.
You
Although
sound like my grandma. It was on sale, so I saved money.
we just did a
Girl
whole
math.
We just did a whole video that's coming out this Friday.
That's
that is
on girl math?
That is nothing but me using girl math to upgrade a gun.
It's
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
CJ, smash or pass for you.
For me, just the magnifier, I'm gonna say pass for the price. For me, it's usually a pretty easy decision when it comes to that. I think this gets me something like this or an equivalent to this would get me. For my use case, I know it's not. I know it's not technically like 100% of what that is, but for my use case, it gets me like 80% of that. Now, if I'm gonna be driving over it with a Humvee or something like that, then yeah, it's not that. But I'm not planning on doing that. So, I would say that it's a pass for me. It is still good for what it is for if you need like the most durable, best glass, best clarity, best.
I mean, personally, if I know that I need 1X and I need 4X, I would probably go with an LPVO. Personally, on that gun.
Yeah.
The one thing that I like about magnifiers is I can put a red dot on it. I can go shoot it, have fun, bring it to a competition where you don't need magnification, and then when you do, you can just put this on.
Yeah.
Now, like your ACOG or your LPVOs, stuff like that, it's 1 per gun.
Right.
Or I mean, you can switch them, but then you got to re-zero them.
You
stuff
should be
like that.
close if you put it on the same. If you put it in the same rail slot.
Close, but
depending on your barrel length. and
Every
all that
gun's
stuff.
different, so just to trust that it's going to be in the exact same spot is probably the wrong way to go.
Oh, it won't be.
But at least you're going to be like maybe 5 shots and you're going to be back to 0
Yeah.
again.
Always re-zero your guns, guys.
Yeah, and personally, even if I take an optic off and I put it back on the exact same gun, I'll usually go to re-zero it just because you're better off knowing than guessing.
Right.